Nelson, fighting up against so-called Steve Nelson, undefeated, trains with Terrence Crawford camp. What do you think of that element heading into the fight? That he's got one of the best trainers in the game. He's sparring with Crawford at times. What do you think about that?
I think that's good for him. Steven Nelson, undefeated opponent, just another guy to add to my record and to my highlight reel. I've been in the gym working hard alongside great champions as well, and now I'm here in Vegas and ready to put on another great show, January 25th.
If people look at the tail of the tape, what'll jump out about him is your height advantage, your reach advantage. Is this a chance to show some like Tommy Hearns, Alexis Arguello kind of stuff?
Exactly. For sure, man. I feel like I'm getting to that level where my opponents kind of, I don't know how to say it, they kind of like are in a better, it helps me shine better. The higher the level of opponents, the more I'm able to shine and do my work. When you have those weird, awkward fighters, it's not as easy to shine and do what you have to do, But when you have a guy who has some skills and can box as well, I feel like that's easier for me to showcase my talent and what I can do in there. So, yeah, man, I'm just excited to get in there with Steven Nelson, a guy who's been calling me out for some time now, and just ready to put in the work, man, and show him what DP is about.
Last time you headlined in Las Vegas, it was against Sean McCalman, kind of similar build to Steve Nelson. Yeah. Do you feel like that experience is going to help in this fight?
Oh yeah, definitely. Sean McCalman, shout out to him. He's a great opponent. Gave me some really good experience, and I'm using that experience into this fight as well. Like you said, kind of have the same build, but I'm currently sparring with Carlos Adames, 160-pound WBC champion, who also has a build kind of like that, So, I'm getting some great work, man, and I feel great. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life right now, and just ready to go. January 25th, man, it's gonna be another great night.
How much, obviously the city is known for fighting and boxing, but how much of getting a fight like this is kind of putting that marquee match that gets that interest for people that might just be casual fans or might not know boxing to have a big one like this?
Yeah, for sure, man. When you go in there against a guy who's also undefeated, I feel like that catches a lot of people's eyes. Two undefeated guys going at it. Someone's always got to go, like they say, so that makes for a great fight. When you have two undefeated guys in there, we're trying to protect our own as much as we can, so for sure, man, it makes for a great fight, and I feel like the fans are going to enjoy this one for sure.
Do you expect this to be the toughest fight?
I expect him to be the toughest Steven Nelson we've seen yet, if he's the toughest fight, I'm not sure. I won't know until I'm in there with him, but I'm preparing for the toughest fight of my career for sure.
Now, I know you don't want to look over back, but if you get the win, do you see you in there? Like, I know the Canelo fight would be hard to get, but what about a guy like William Small who go down the fight?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. Before the Steven Nelson fight was made, we were trying to make a fight with Billy. I got the email to make that fight a mandatory, to make it a title eliminator. I talked to my team, and that same day we signed those papers and sent them back. And then after that, we never heard again from Billy's team. But then after that, we tried to make the fight with Trevor McCumbee, and that also didn't go through. And that's how we ended up with Steven Nelson. But of course, I'm not overlooking Steven Nelson. I'm not looking past him. But I'm definitely ready to get in there with the best in the division.
So is it fair to say since these guys are ducking you?
I just feel like I'm kind of a high risk, low reward fight for a lot of guys right now. So kind of like my last fight with Selesky. Before the Selesky fight, we tried to make the fight with Eric Bazignan. But then he got the Munguia fight, which is like, I can't blame him. If I got the Munguia fight, I would have put him aside too. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what it is. I feel like I'm only 23 years old, so a lot of guys see me as like they don't really win much, I guess, going like fighting against me. I feel that's how they see it. But it's getting to the point now where they won't be able to deny me, after this fight, and hopefully get in there with another guy who's ranked even higher, and then I'll be up there just getting in there with all the top guys.
So is this the year you officially become a contender?
Well, I consider myself a contender already. I'm ranked number 1 in the WBO. I'm ranked number 3 with the WBC, so I consider myself a contender. You know, I feel like I'm up there, and I believe in myself a lot, and in my skills and my hard work, and I'm just ready to get in there with the best of them.
You know, Jose thinks, your trainer, Jose Benavides, he doesn't think Canelo would ever really take that fight, but like you said, you are already number 1 for the WBO. What would that fight look like? Why would you be able to overcome such a big gap in experience?
You know, I just feel like I'm one of those guys who's a rare talent. You know, I feel like you don't really see a guy 6'4" who can box, who can also bang on the inside. You know, one of the few guys who you see that can box and move around at 6'4" is Usyk. And I like to also bring up Bam Rodriguez, who's a great fighter with great footwork, has a great jab, and I feel like I have those things as well. You know, I have a great jab. In some fights, I haven't been able to display it as much as I would want to because I haven't really needed to. But like I said, you know, as competition goes up, then that'll allow me to showcase more of my skills and what I could do in the ring. And that's why I'm excited for this fight with Steven Nelson. I feel like he's a good boxer. He's a guy who has some skills, and I'm excited to get in there with him and just show the world what I can do once again.
What's the right mentality and style you think that'll get the most out of what you got when you're built like Tommy Hearns, but you got the Mexican blood, you're from South Central, so you like to go toe to toe sometimes too. Sure. What do you think is the right fine line to walk to get the most out of what you can do?
I just feel like honestly, I'm a guy who obviously I have the height, I have a good jab, I have good footwork, you know, so I like to establish my jab, get out there with my long punches. Usually guys, I start to notice they get frustrated when they can't get on the inside, and that's when it opens up for me to land those body shots, those uppercuts, those check hooks when they're coming in. So, you know, just guys who want to come in and fight with me, you know, I love those guys because, you know, it makes my job easy. But, yeah, man, just, you know, I feel like as the competition gets harder and the skills of my opponents get better, then it'll allow me to showcase more of my skills.
Can you win fights just off the jab and the right hand, or is that too boring for you?
Exactly. That's what I was about to say, man. Like, I can really literally control a fight with just my jab. You know, sometimes in sparring sessions when I'm feeling a little like lazy or tired, you know, I do that. Just stick to my jab and I'm fine. But like you said, you know, it could get boring. You know, fans really don't want to see a jab clinic. You know what I'm saying? So I like to get in there, bang. Sometimes I stay in there, catch and shoot too. You know what I mean? So I work on all those things. You know, I'm a guy who's defensively very disciplined. You know, I take my defense very serious. You know, you guys haven't seen me get hit very much in my fights, so that's something I like to work on a lot, and you guys will continue to see that in my upcoming fights.
Diego, in your opinion, what do you think is the most dangerous part of your opponent, Steven Nelson? What do you have to look out for the most?
I feel like those big overhands. You know, I feel like he's going to be throwing a lot of overhand rights, a lot of big left hooks. Something I've been working on a lot on catching and shooting back. You know, but I feel like the main key for me is just establishing that jab, and then everything else will come behind that. And like I said, you know, just watching out for those big hooks that he was going to come in throwing.
You think he's going to try to make a name off you? You know, you're the young guy upright, you're basically the A side. He's coming in his mid to late 30s saying, I'm going to just get it less.
Yeah.
You think he has a bit of a shoulder, a chip on his shoulder?
For sure. I feel like for him, this is probably like now or never for him. You know, he's like you said, 36 years old. He's going up against a guy who's ranked number 1 with the WBO. So, you know, obviously he wants that. He wants to be the number 1 guy to contend for a world title at his age, you know. But I'm here to stay, man. You know, I'm here to do what I do, and I'm not letting anyone take that from me.
I can tell you got some marks up on your face, man.
Yeah.
Sparring's been pretty rough.
Oh yeah. With Carlos Adames, man, it's been great work. You know, he's a champion for a reason, and I think February 22nd he's still gonna be a champion.
And